Hey everybody, welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. This your girl Angie, and I have the Real Housewives of Atlanta review. This is season 12, episode 10, Living on the Edge. And let me tell you off top, this is the fillerest of the most full feels of filler episode. Like, nothing went down. Nothing really went down on this episode, so I hope I don't get to talking too much because it shouldn't be long. But they making us wait another week to get to the good stuff. And I'm upset about it. Like, they couldn't give us a drip drop, nothing. Like, this was all feel. And let's just get into it because I do have a little bit of tea because I was being vain yesterday. I refused to do the video without my makeup on, like my under eye circles and everything. I couldn't do it. I said, Angie, just do it after work when you got your makeup on. I just got home from work and I'm about to knock this out because it's always something. But let's talk about these girls' business because child. Anyway, everyone goes out. They start the episode back on the roof. Nene came up there, wasn't nobody really checking for Nene, and they leave the roof to go to like this festival of where they're looking at, I think Tanya said, the king and queens of each floats and the costumes of the floats, and it was beautiful. Like, if anything, even though this was a filler episode, I never been to Carnival and I really want to go one day, and it just really let me see all the drama, everything about Carnival screams Angie. I love the over-the-top costumes, rhinestones, feathers, makeup, all of that. I loved it. I thought that was great for Bravo to show that. And I can't wait to go one day. But after they get back from doing that, because ain't no drama happened there, it was just nice to see. They all went to Nene's room. Let me get the names right. It was Giovanna, Nene, Marlo, and Candy. And I think Tanya tagged along later, but I can't remember. Ain't nothing really happened in Nene's room. They kind of just, Candy was like, Nene, why was you being so quiet? That's not you. And Nene was like, girl, I ain't really know what they was talking about. But we all know Nene has a lot of work to do to get back into this circle, because at the end of the day, Nene, if you have no one to film with, you have no reason to film, because we are tired of seeing you with Giovanna. We all want Giovanna to be kicked off the show. Now tonight, I said they should have called it Snake Gate filler, because all they did was talk about Snake Gate. And if you all have watched any of my past reviews, you know I hate Snake Gate. I don't believe there is a Snake Gate, because they even asked Nene, it was Candy or somebody, like, well, do you know who the snake is? Can you tell us who the snake is? And Nene was like, child, I don't know. I feel like that was the biggest crock of BS, because Nene ain't that type of person. Nene is not the type of person for someone to say, hey girl, Cynthia got a recording of you talking shit. Nene ain't that type of person to just be like, oh, okay, oh, really? The first thing, not Nene for sure, but the first thing anyone would say is, let me hear it. Who got it? I want to hear it. You know, everyone's going to want to get to the bottom of that. No one is just going to have that tea on their mind and let it roll off their back. So I don't believe there's a snake gate. I don't believe anyone has a recording of Cynthia. Now, this is my theory, and all the bloggers and people who kind of give hints of what's going to happen next week are hinting that Snakegate is going to be revealed next week. So I hope my theory comes true, but let me put it out there. I believe in that first conversation where Giovanna was telling Nene, I was talking to Cynthia at the wine bar and she was saying blah, blah, blah about you, whatever. And I believe Nene said, well, do you have any proof? And Giovanna was like, yes, there's proof. I think Nene, in her mind, construed that to mean that Giovanna recorded Cynthia. because we never heard Nene say anything about, well, what's the proof? Well, prove it to me then. Because to me, that's the next thing I'm gonna say. If I ask you if there's any proof, the next thing I'm gonna say is, well, prove it to me. Where's the proof? Show it to me. Where's the receipts, as they say? But anyway, I believe Nene just took that and ran with it and told Candy, you know, she didn't say Giovanna, but she said someone's recorded Cynthia talking trash about me, and then Candy went and told Cynthia, and then Snakegate begun. But I don't believe there's any true recording. I think Giovanna next week is going to be proved to be a liar, reaching for a storyline by telling Nene that stuff, and that is going to kind of usher Nene. Like, I feel like Nene going to be back in the circle. I ain't even worried about it. Eventually, she's going to get back in the circle. Because pretty much, if you look at Instagram, she's cool with pretty much everyone, even Portia now. I don't know exactly where she is with Cynthia right now, but she ain't never going to be cool with Kenya, so we ain't worried about that. But that's my theory for Snakegate. I believe there is no Snakegate. I believe that conversation between Giovanna and Nene was either spun to be a misunderstanding, or it's a setup with Giovanna and Nene to bring us the bullshit for a storyline. Because think about it, guys. This is season 10. I mean, not season 10. This is episode 10 of a 20-season show. I keep getting my words mixed up. This is episode 10 of a 20-episode season, which means we're at the halfway mark. And the only drama we've been talking about pretty much is Snakegate. Who's the snake? It could be a setup for everybody, because nobody has dropped any real tea. No one has had any real drama. Like, this season has pretty much been filler, getting me up to Toronto. All season I've been saying, get me to Toronto. So I believe that's what's going to happen next week. I believe it was a BS storyline that Nene and Giovanna cocked up. Probably Nene concocted it, because Giovanna new to the game. And I believe the way she's going to spin it, she's going to put all the blame on Giovanna, and Giovanna's out of there. We don't have to see Giovanna next season, but let's move on. So now it's a new morning. Everyone's talking on the phone to their significant others. Nothing special. I mean, I did say a side note. Okay, this is a side note because it really wasn't nothing to the episode, so let's talk about this side note. Candy was talking to Todd. Her outfit was fly. I loved it. The maxi dress with the brown and gold Grecian stomach cut out. Very sexy. Candy, that was popping. But that black, greenish hunter black lipstick was not. And we all know Candy is trying to start a lipstick brand or a makeup brand called Candy Coated Lips. Or I might have the name wrong, but Candy's trying to start some lipsticks. I looked at, it might have been on Instagram, and saw just the colors that she plans on putting out there. All of them are no Candy. A no for you. A lot of them are bright reds, bright fuchsias, dark blues, dark greens, black. I want to say this respectfully because I love Candy. Like, I've loved Candy since Escape. We all have. But when it comes to Candy's brand, I don't think beauty is it. Like, when I'm not saying that Candy's not beautiful, she's very beautiful, but she's not, to me, the face of a beauty brand. Like, when we think of Candy, we think of music. We think of the sex, the dungeons, her sex toys, her risque conversations with Candy Coated Nights. We think, like, that stuff with them baby, chewable baby necklaces, that never jumped off because that's not a part of Candy's brand. We think of Candy as a boss woman. I can see Candy dealings in real estate. How she's jumped off Old Lady Gang to have 3 locations in Atlanta, where if you know anything about Atlanta celebrities starting restaurants, they all fail. I used to live in Atlanta. I've tried, every celebrity has opened and closed a restaurant in Atlanta, and for Candy be doing what she's doing with Old Lady Gang is amazing. That's Candy's brand to me. The lipstick, I would put it on the shelf, Candy. Don't waste your money on it because one, the colors aren't popping, and I love makeup, but none of those colors are popping. I'm not like, oh, I gotta get that. And two, I don't think of you when it comes to beauty. It's off brand. Like, to me, Portia, from the minute you left, what's his name, Cordell, and you got it popping with the hair. We all know your hair is popping. Portia is a beauty brand. Your next step should not have been these fluffy sheets that we can get for $20 at Walmart or Target or wherever, at like a swap meet, a flea market, anywhere we can get some $20 sheets. That's what they look like. Now, they might be $40 sheets. They might be a little bit better quality. I ain't gonna knock you, Portia. But beauty is where you could have carved out a huge lane, because Portia is beautiful. When we look at Portia, we see it in her face. Like, if Portia put on a lipstick or an eyeshadow, I would be like, where did Portia get that from? If it was her brand, I would want to try it. Like, to me, that's just Portia's brand. And I think Portia's missing the mark with these sheets. But that was just a side note. Like, I feel like people are starting to jump off brand and just putting their names on anything because they're on the Housewives and they think we gonna buy it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But anyway, Candy, don't wear that black lipstick no more. That was my whole point of saying all that. And another side note, Ty tried to shade him, talking about Candy thought she was gonna be fat, and Candy's not fat. But she was like, I've been eating and I might not look good in this costume. And the costumes were beautiful. Silver rhinestones, a splash of orange feathers with some gray feathers, popping. I loved it. And Candy looked good. And Todd trying to say, ain't none of y'all ladies slim and trim. They're not. They're all thick and popping. And anybody would be happy to slay any of the bodies that any of those ladies have. They all look good in those costumes. But it was just funny. Todd threw a little bit of shade in there. And that's where we're at next. They tried on the costumes. The costumes were beautiful. Nene was in the rooms, so a lot of the girls was like, I ain't got the energy to fool with Nene right now. Let me take my costume to my room and try it on. And that was Portia, Cynthia, and Kenya. They left. Now, Nene, before Eva jumps up and leaves, like, let me talk to you for a second. And she took the moment to apologize. I think Eva was the easiest one to apologize to, only because, and I hate when I go to work and I try not to listen to any other podcast or reviews about a show that I'm going to review because I don't want my opinion to be swayed. I always did think that Eva was the easiest one to apologize to first, but I also felt like, after I heard, I can't remember who I was listening to at work, they said the way the reality game goes, you're under contract to be mic'd and you just can't take it off when you want to take it off. You have to wait until production is like, okay, the scene is done. And so Nene didn't take her mic off, and I understand why now, but she still could have told Eva, like Candy told Cynthia, I'm mic'd. She could have did that for Eva and been like, look, I can't take my mic off, but let's talk, girl, you know, but whatever. And the true shade of it was, I think Eva even understood that it was at the reunion when Nene was like, this is my job. Like, what you want me to do? I gotta work. You know, she had no feelings, you know, understanding of Eva's feelings. And sometimes that hurts even more, where you want to forgive somebody, but they just being an ass and they act like they don't understand or care about how they hurt you. But anyway, they moved on. All is well between Eva and Nene for now. For now. I think Eva still got a side eye to Nene, but she's willing to film and move this storyline right along. Next, oh, Cynthia. They flashed a scene of Cynthia in that emerald top with that really curly, full wig, and her face was beat down. Beautiful. That's the most beautiful confessional I've seen of Cynthia in a very long time, only because it's more unique. Cynthia's usually got on that center part wig with long hair or some kind of crazy afro. That confessional look, Cynthia, copy that going forward numerous times. Here come Luke Angelo, y'all. He better not start barking. But anyway, next they go to, I guess, the CNN building of Toronto. And this was all filler. I wouldn't have did it. Like, I would have probably been Nene. I would have rode up the elevator and then been like, oh Lord, this is too tall. But I would have enjoyed the ride up the elevator, and I would have sat and ate and spun around. But I wouldn't have walked out on the edge. I don't care. Like, to me, one, I gotta check the weight limit. Like, that's just real. That's just true. How much do you have to weigh to get on this harness before I lean my ass over this building? And if it's anything even close, like, I have to have at least 50 to 100 pounds. Hey, you see I'm making a video.
That's why I didn't know what you thought you was on the phone.
50 to 100 pound variance, because I don't want nothing snapping on me. So that would have been question one. And if they would have been like, it's XYZ pounds and it was close to my XYZ pounds, I wouldn't have got up there, because fear alone would have been a no. But then just thinking about that thing snapping would have been a hell no. So all of them did it but Nene and Eva. I think Eva would have done it if she wasn't pregnant, but whatever. They bonded. That's something they'll always remember. Okay, next, Dennis sent Portia some flowers. I got a whole bunch to say about Dennis. Let me get on. And I guess while Dennis is sending Portia the flowers, what's his name? Paul. That's Tanya's man. I got something to say about him too. And Dennis are at the hotel. Paul, I guess Tanya knew Paul was coming, and she was surprised to see Dennis tagging along. And when I first saw them together, I was let me just say, I was at work listening to my podcast and my YouTubes, typing along, doing my work. And I heard some tea about Dennis and Paul. And the first thing when I was watching the show, I was like, it's odd that they're friends, because God, I hate judging people. But that's the point of reviewing the shows, right? I mean, no hate, allegedly. But Dennis seemed like the type of guy who can only hang out with guys who are like him, because Dennis always seemed like he on dirt. And to me, guys who are on dirt hang out with other guys who are trying to do dirt. So I was like, why is Paul with Dennis? Well, how they click up so fast? But we shall see at the end of this review when I tell y'all the tea. But anyway, Tanya tells them it's a party on the roof. It's a family party. All her family's coming, her friends from Toronto, and she wants to introduce the Atlanta girls to them. So let's talk about the looks, because they really ain't do nothing at this party. Tanya had on a short mini dress. It was long sleeve, low plunging, but I love the beading. It was all white with black, turquoise, and pink beadings. It was just an amazing dress. I don't know who designed it, but I'm sure it was expensive. Tanya looked beautiful. Portia had on another LBD, little black dress. Yeah, little black dress. But this time she had a little sequins ruffle on the bottom. It was cute. It was cute, Portia. Cynthia looked a fool. Now this caftan muumuu thing, like Cynthia won last week with that red and white caftan, but this week Cynthia had on pink, orange, blue, brown, yellow, green, everything mixed up in a muumuu caftan, and it looked a hot ass mess. No, Cynthia, put that one back. Candy had on another little black dress, and she was very sexy. It was very short, very low cut, but Candy looked good. Yvonne, I said she looked the 4th of July fool. She had on an all sequins dress. It was very red, very blue with a splash of green. And compared to everybody else, you just look cheap. Now, I understand. These girls have been in the game. The designers are sending them clothes, and they can go out and afford the best clothes, and you just now getting into the Housewives. So everyone always look a little bit cheap their first season compared to everybody else. But that just looked a hot ass mess. Nene, I loved her yellow mustard jumpsuit. It was the perfect shade for her complexion and her blonde hair. I just said I didn't like the material because she was sitting, and as soon as she stand up, she was wrinkled. I mean, a wrinkled mess. But I love the jumpsuit. I just would have got a different material. Kenya looked average in her blue halter maxi dress. Eva isn't worth mentioning because I didn't even see what Eva had on. I just saw a black tank top, and it probably was a fool. Marlo again wins, hands down. I can't even describe what Marlo has on because it was sheer, but it was like a blur sheer. It didn't, you couldn't really see anything because it was all sheer, but it was blurred and it had feathers and it was gorgeous. I could tell it was couture. I could tell it was very expensive. Marlo, she slays when it comes to the dressing. If I missed somebody, they looked a mess. Okay, moving on the bus, they made fun of each other, impersonations. It was funny. I think Candy kind of eased Nene into the circle by impersonating Nene, and it was funny. And I was happy for that Candy kind of knows I gotta usher Nene back in this circle, because Nene, until Candy made fun of her, her face was screwed the entire time. Like, but once Candy made fun of her and she started laughing, then she got into the fun. Okay, next is filler. We're at the party. For whatever reason, Candy, Kenya, and Portia want to find out who the snake is. They want to be good cop, good bad cop, and quiet cop. But I don't know why Candy was the quiet cop, because to me, she was the one asking all the questions. But they said, Yvonne, we think she's going to crack. Let's ambush her and see if she's the snake. Hey, everybody come home at the same time. But anyway, so they want to see if Yvonne is the snake. And Yvonne held her own. Again, what was very strange is Portia was talking very sexy to Yvonne, like, are you the snake? And the whole time Kenya in the background licking out her tongue, and I ain't gonna do it because it looked nasty when Kenya was doing it. And Candy was the only one asking some sensible questions. I'm telling y'all, I feel like everyone's in on this because I feel like there's no snake. Because to me, if you that mad and you think someone recorded your best friend Kenya, you ain't sitting there in the background just sticking your tongue out. I mean, we're going to see next week, because they said we're going to get to the bottom of Snakegate next week. And I hope my theory is right. I'm going to be mad, though, that they set this up. But I think there's no snake. And I think it's going to be all a misunderstanding. And that's probably why Nene and Kenya end up fighting. Because Kenya going to see through Nene's bullshit of trying to blame the whole thing on Yvonne. I'm telling y'all, that's what it's going to be. But anyway, at the end of it all, Tanya makes this big speech and says, here's somebody to explain love. Dennis comes in, gets down on one knee. We already know Portia take that ring back, so why the cliffhanger? Like, you could have got that wrapped up in a bow this week, so we could have got with the shits next week. But anyway, let me tell y'all the tea I heard real quick on these YouTube streets. Now, if y'all don't remember, it might have been a few days ago. I don't want to say last week, but I follow Bondi Blue. She's a very popular YouTuber, and I saw her on Twitter where she was like, she just received some tea on Dennis. And I know I was one of the ones who said, what is the tea? And she didn't respond at that time, but if you watch her Real Housewives of Atlanta review for this past Sunday, she spills the tea. And this is all allegedly, because she says someone sent her a video of Dennis. Now, she didn't have to say allegedly because she saw the video. Someone sent it to her. But I'm saying allegedly because ain't nobody sent me nothing. And I'm just repeating what Bondi Blue said. Now, anyway, what she said is someone sent her a video of Dennis. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. And he was out surrounded by 4 young girls. They said one of the girls he was a little bit closer to than the other, but that's pretty much, that was all in the video. Like, he wasn't doing anything, I guess, X-rated or even kissing and hugging in the video. But I agree with Bondi when she says just for him to be this close out of the doghouse and it to be 4 o'clock in the morning, and your fiance and child are at home, you should not be anywhere with 4 young girls. And she emphasized on the young, and I'm going to assume she means young as 18 to maybe 21 young, because I don't know, anybody under 18 shouldn't be out at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I ain't going to go there. But she did emphasize the young. She also said she ain't sending the video to Portia, and I agree. That's messy. You don't know Portia. You don't want none of that smoke. We just ain't here giving our 2 cents on what we see on TV. Like, I'm not trying to break no news. I ain't trying to really get into anybody's business that deep. I'm just commenting on the business that y'all put on TV and on social media. You don't want me commenting on it, don't put it out there. But I'm going to say this to you, Portia. I know you ain't watching my channel, but just in case, Dennis is not to be trusted. This video is a clear red flag. He should not be out anywhere with any women, period, at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know he own a little hookah bar, and the hot dog factory ain't open that late. And in Atlanta, stuff closed early, around 2, at the most 3. So, unless they changed it since I moved. But when I was there, Atlanta closed early because they was doing too many shootings in the club. But anyway, Dennis can't be trusted. And next season, that's even more reason why I don't think they got married over New Year's Eve. I know they ain't get married. That was a rumor people put out there. But don't marry him no time soon. Like, I know you want to do the wedding special, and I know you want to forget the special. You want to keep your family together. And I understand that for PJ. But don't do it, girl. Dennis cannot, I don't think he can be trusted. And this is a red flag that should show you he can't be trusted. But if you do up and marry him, and he does up and cheat on you again. Because to me, I peeped when Dennis said, I cheated on you because you were pregnant and you had the postpartum, which means he just admitted to cheating on you after you had the baby too, because of the postpartum. But I ain't gonna go there. You didn't clock that for the show, so I ain't gonna try to read too much into it, but that's what I think. If he cheat on you again, girl, and you want to stay with him, don't talk about it on the show, because people are going to read you. They're going to call you dumb, stupid. We told you so, girl. This is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th time. Keep that stuff to yourself. Keep it to yourself. If you're not going to leave him, let that man cheat in peace. Don't come crying about it, because I don't think people too much going to care. And I like you, Portia, and I feel like you deserve better than a Dennis, because I ain't seen the video, so it's all allegedly. I hope it's not true. I don't know how he gonna explain his way out of it, but like I said, that's your fiance, not mine. The second piece of tea is not really tea, because they said it's gonna all come out next week, and this kind of ties into why Dennis and Paul might be good friends doing dirt together. They said back in some scene where Kenya and Cynthia were eating cookies at a cookie shop, some girl came up and said that Paul was trying to holler at her. He'd been texting her and hitting her up and trying to get her to go out on dates, and he was talking to some other girl. So Paul is out there in them streets running around on Tanya. Now, I was kind of hoping it ain't true, because I like Tanya. But I also, when I saw her first hug Paul, the first thing I thought was, why are they still engaged for so long? That ain't none of my business. But that was a huge fight over why her and Nene fell out, because she was like, you eventually married a man someday to somebody. And I understood when Nene came with that one, because I know it's been a lot of years they've been engaged. But I ain't gonna even get into that. That's gonna make the video too long. But the whole thing is, I guess Kenya next week announces to the girls, if somebody knew your man was cheating, would you want to know? And I guess all the girls in the circle go around answering yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, whatever. And I guess when it got to Tanya, Tanya said, I don't know what Tanya said, but she must have said something about having another girl's number in the phone ain't cheating. And so I guess it's some high number where I guess Kenya gonna spill Tanya's tea about Paul. And I guess they're gonna fault Cynthia because Cynthia knew this tea all this time and didn't tell Tanya. But are Cynthia and Tanya really friends like that? Like, really, is any other girls on the show really friends like that? Like, to me, 99% of them are coworkers. Like, I don't think any of, like, even I think Cynthia to Kenya, they're not friends like that. No, all of them are coworkers. They all coworkers. The only ones I felt like had a really, really good friendship was Candy and Phaedra at one point, and we see where that went. Phaedra and Portia were kind of cool, but I've seen coworker on that too. But what y'all think? What y'all want to know? I think it's gonna be good next week because to me, I feel like it's so much stuff they say that's gonna be revealed next week. Are we still gonna get to the fight next week? I want to know. Is that why everybody start fighting? Because Kenya runs out Tanya's business and Nene's sticking up for Tanya. I don't know, but I'm ready to see it, y'all. It's 30 minutes. I done been talking for 30 minutes and ain't nothing happened in this episode. I'm just talking about the tea and my 2 cents about all these people. Anyway, y'all, this is Kiss My Cheeks TV. If you like the video, I have more coming. So subscribe to my channel. And I know I said I thought Family or Fiance started this past Saturday. It didn't. It starts this Saturday. So I am going to start reviewing that show this Saturday. And I was going to pick up Love and Hip Hop Miami, but then I had to have a real moment with myself and say, I don't like Love and Hip Hop Miami, and I love Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican princess, but I have to review shows that I like, because if I just start reviewing stuff that I think other people will like, or just for one person, it's not going to be true. It's not going to be real. So I'm going to stick to only reviewing shows that I like, and if it slows down my subscriber count, so be it. I want to be real. I don't want to just start talking about stuff to be talking about it. But I am going to review Jocelyn's Cabaret. When that comes out, I am going to pay my $4.99 for Zeus, because I do love Jocelyn, and that's the avenue where I think Jocelyn is going to be giving me what I want to see. But check out for some more TV reviews. Those will be coming. And I also have some makeup reviews that I'm going to be uploading that I recorded this weekend as well. And again, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video. I'm trying to go. Remember, my goal for 2020 is to get to 350. So please share if you enjoyed. And you all have a good night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.